There is now a new ruling from the ICJ pertaining to Israel, the ICJ being the International Court of Justice, pretty much the world courts is the way to look at it. They are the courts that are also currently hearing the case from South Africa about Israel's plausible genocide going on in Gaza, which these things unfortunately do take years to litigate through before the ruling ever does come down. So it is not of that which they've ruled on, but instead something pertaining to the long-standing occupation and annexation of Palestinian land that Israel has done and carried out in Gaza and the West Bank both, as they ruled the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories is indeed illegal, something that the international community has been shouting for decades now, and that they must stop settlement activity in the West Bank and East Jerusalem as well as in the Gaza Strip, which only stands to validate those international claims that Israel has been illegally occupying Palestine for now almost 6 decades at this point. They also validate the claims of pretty much all human rights organizations that across the board say it was illegal and inhumane. Netanyahu has, of course, already came out to condemn the court, saying it was a decision that was one of lies, because why shouldn't he be able to occupy the land of those he's genociding is pretty much his case, his opinion in this matter. Though the court is sadly not legally binding, they can't force Israel to withdraw, it does still carry massive political weight and is the first time they've ruled in on the conflict in now 57 years, of course, which will make it harder for countries who support Israel to continue to do so while they are continuing an illegal occupation, meaning there is a good chance that aid to Israel slows down while this is happening. Definitely hope that the United States does so, as we've sanctioned other countries for far less, so harsh sanctions on the settlers and the country for engaging in what boils down to illegal international activity hopefully should be on the card. Though with our unique relationship with Israel and the way that their money has managed to influence and infiltrate our political sphere, it's unclear whether or not this will actually stand to waver our position on the matter. But the court ruled that the occupation did not end in 2005, which is a common talking point from Zionists, because Israel still exercises effectively complete control over the area. They have built 160 settlements housing around 700,000 Israelis in just the West Bank and Jerusalem, and the court ruled that they should have to evacuate and be forced to pay reparations to Palestinians for damages caused. They also ruled that the restrictions Israelis impose on Palestinians constitute clear-cut systemic discrimination based on race, religion, or ethnic background, while also exploiting their right to self-determination, thus statehood. This finding will continue on to the UN General Assembly, a body that has a little bit more power than the ICJ does, of which they'll then decide how to respond. It'll be likely they'll impose resolutions, or enact resolutions, I should say, to maybe impose sanctions against Israel or other kinds of different barriers of what they can do that could be a major catalyst for future negotiations and the future settlements and a Palestinian statehood.